It's your boy Josh Powell checking in, man, and you are getting into the latest episode, Charlotte on the Scene, with my two dogs, Blessed Kings, man, good people, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, check them out. Let's get it.
So today on Charlotte on the Scene, we got the one and only, the one and only, and I'm very blessed to have this interview, is Josh Powell, NBA vet, played with the Lakers, has 2 rings. Mm-hmm. 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of those rings.
Respectfully.
I'm not really happy about, but I'm Celtics, Team Celtics. I should wear my jersey. My cousin gonna flash this in my face.
Well, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm wearing it out of respect because
so let's just put that on the table right now.
Put that on the table right there, so we don't got no problems. How you doing, brother Josh? It's good to have you on the platform today. Thank you, brother, for being here.
I'm good, and it's funny. Right before we got started, y'all set this bar so high. So I'm hoping I could be the first guest to give y'all your flowers.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Because I know it's hard out here. I understand the game. I know what goes into it. And salute to you all. You got your queen back there. You know what I mean. I know that's family, but she holding y'all down, and it's just
she about fed up with us right about now,
and everything else, man. But I do want to give y'all your flowers, man, and tell y'all keep doing what you're doing, keep mashing the gas, fellas. Nothing but love and success, man. And thank y'all for bringing me on your platform to allow me to share just a little bit. You feel me? So let's get it.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let Lawrence start off.
All right. Well,
he's been itching.
All right. Well, where I should begin? Let's not even go jump forward too crazy. Let's. How'd you fall in love with basketball? Let's start right there. How'd you fall in love with basketball?
Well, that lady y'all just heard going up the stairs. My mother. You know what I'm saying? Like she was actually the first person I seen touch a basketball.
So your mom played ball?
Yeah.
Professionally, or she just like high school or something?
She was good enough and got a scholarship in college. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
My dad was and again I saw my mom hoop way after the fact, but I heard my dad was like a legend. He was great in every sport. Baseball, football, and basketball. You know what I mean? So both of my parents, man, they already had that going. They had it in them. You know what I mean? So shout out to my mom, because, like I said, I started off playing football and baseball. Those were my first two sports, and then I fell in love with the game of basketball.
Okay,
that's real. So, how tall are you? Because and I'm asking you that because I know when I was in high school, I had a growth spurt. I was like 5'3" for like the longest time of my life. And then I had a growth spurt, and I got to be like 6'4". So when did you like?
6'4"?
Yeah, I'm 6'3 and a half, 6'4". Yeah,
6'3 and a half or 6'2", bro. Come on, you're pushing them numbers, man. Stop.
All right.
Where's the caps at too? Son, can we get the caps, please? Can we get the caps? He's already starting already. We're not going to do that. Let's open this wide on up right now.
Listen.
Bro. You 6'1 and a half.
Yeah. All right, whatever. I'm 6'3". That's what doctor said. But anyway, and I'm mad you even brought that up. But anyway, so like like you playing football and you playing basketball. When did you realize you were going to be, grow into the size that you were to even be that as tall as you were? Because that's what I was going to ask you.
I didn't. What's funny is like I was bigger than most kids, but it wasn't like I was just some giant. You know what I mean? Like I was like 6'1", 6'2" my freshman year. And then at the end of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I came back 6'8".
Oh, wow.
So it was like, man, crazy growth spurt. Like I just came back tall than a mug. And I didn't expect that, because it's not like I have anybody in my family like that's my size either.
Got you.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So
got you. How tall is your mom and your dad, if you want to ask?
You mentioned your pops.
So my mom, my dad is like 6'1". My mom is 6 feet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
And
sense.
then my mom is like, again, it's like my uncles and my aunts, like everybody like 5'7", 5'8", maybe somebody 5'9". It ain't like anybody touching 6, and then here come my mom. You know what I'm saying? And then like my brother, like one of my brothers is like 6'4", my other one's like 6'3".
Oh, so some height there.
Uh,
Okay.
but it's like that should have been where I should have been.
6'3",
Okay.
not
That's
6'8".
not how. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
6'8" is crazy. Yeah.
it just worked out, different. So
Yeah.
Okay. So when you had your growth spurt and everything like that, when did you know that you had it? You had the it factor to make it.
I had to work to get the it factor.
Okay.
This wasn't the King James, Kobe Bryant edition. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I had to really put in the work. But at the end of, because I only played 3 years of varsity, and at my first year of varsity, like starting and all of that, I was what, 17 and right at 10 rebounds, and then my junior year, like I jumped up. So like that summer going into my junior year, the Nike All American camps and just getting those invites and all of that, like that's when I knew I made my jump, because I went from just trying to get an offer, like going to school. You know what I mean? Like that was just a goal. Like I can go to college for free, hopefully. My first offer was from Mercer University. You know what I
Mercer.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I know Mercer.
yeah. So it was like, these are humble beginnings. It ain't like, I started off as some phenom. Like I really had to put the work in, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the coaches that I've had. I had Outlaw, I had Norman Parker, I had Lindsey Hunter, I had Keith
Lindsey Hunter.
Winston.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jackson
so
State. Yeah.
and playing AAU is funny, because I did a live earlier with Kwame Brown, and like me and Kwame was on the Georgia Stars together. And this was when Kwame, like, people want to say what they want to say, man, but nobody had seen nothing like that. Kwame
Correct.
bringing the ball up the court, athletic, quick, first step. Like bro was like next level with the NBA frame. So
Right.
it was just funny. We was just laughing and joking, man, just about the old days and just us being kids, and just coming up during that time. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of playing on the concrete out in the front yard. You know, come practicing as much as possible, hooping all the time, like push-ups at night, because the coach said, "Hey, man, we need you to do 100, 150 a day or whatever." Like, and I was a scrawny kid, man, like 6'8", 6'9", but I was like 185, bro.
Oh wow.
I didn't even enter college. Like, I didn't even touch 200. I had my freshman year, I put on 15, 20 pounds, and I got to 205. And then I had to put on more muscle, and I was like 220 my sophomore year. Like, I worked, bro. Like, I really had to put the work in.
So you saying so Josh, one thing I really hear you is like the coaches that you dealt with, the different mentalities that you had coming up. How did those different coaches fuel you, and also what did it put into you to go through? I guess to go through that grind. And I mean, like, from a granular level, like like I think with AAU, high school, and college, you have different types of coaches. How did you respond to different types of teachings from different coaches?
Well, first of all, growing up in that environment, like from College Park, you know what I'm saying, playing at Brady Gym, and Keith Winston was my first coach. Like, he was just a no nonsense type of guy. Pushed us all. He talked to us like we grown men, and this was way back when we was young.
Right.
So the expectation was just different. Like, his son was nice. We had another kid, Mike Gordon, Mike Stinchcomb. Like, we had some guys, man, that just had a different mentality. And I don't know if y'all remember. I'm sure y'all are basketball, gurus, but do y'all remember Rashad Caruth?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Rashad Caruth, and I like to compare him to like Gilbert before Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro was 6'4". He could shoot. He was shooting the half court shots back 20, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was way back when. Like,
Right.
athletic. He just played like a grown man, but he was a McDonald's All-American from 8th grade to his senior year. Like, he was that guy. I played with him. You know what I mean? Like, this was my environment. So it's like there was a different mindset and a certain type of mentality that you had to have being on the court with guys like that.
Now
You know what I mean?
you mentioned, not to cut your wisdom, but you mentioned about McDonald's All American, right? And you were young coming up, and you were you were getting there, right? I had some friends that were McDonald's All Americans. They played against Jason Kidd and all these other people, right? They decided to sell crack. I'm being honest with you. They were right there, but they just that part of the life was bigger than, you know what I mean, getting into the NBA in their lives. What kept you on the right path?
Well, salute to them, and I didn't know what it's like to be a McDonald's All American, but I would say a lot of it for me was trying to prove people wrong. You know, I got a background and a history of trauma, abuse and things like that. So the one thing was like family. The second thing was proving people wrong because I have so many people that would tell me, including my family, people in my family that would be like, bro, you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna do this. You stupid, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. And that was always my thing. Like, when I came up, people be like, bro, you soft. You ain't no hooper, bro. Why are you, like I had to hear all of that, bro. And I had to endure all of that. Like, I was just like, man, I'm about to show everybody. And then it went from me trying to prove something to them to now I'm proving it to myself. So that was like a part of that transition.
Got it.
You know, it's so crazy. Like, so do we have Aunt Morrow? We have him on the show sometimes or whatever.
Yeah, my
Here,
brother.
yeah. He's supposed to be here at night, but I'm gonna get on his ass. He probably out hanging at the bar. He said he's gonna show up. But anyway, but I asked him a question like, what fueled him to him being from West Side of Charlotte, and what fueled him to actually because you're gonna have doubters. People are gonna get in your head and tell you what you can't do, and so. That's something that fueled you. But like, what is it that was the breaking point to say that, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. You're not going to stop me.
Because I already had nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? And these are, some of the things that I went through again in my childhood. It just put me in that state of mind because I felt like I was by myself. I felt alone. I really did. And falling in love with any sport was like my freedom. It was my way to express myself. It gave me a sense of family, something I could belong to. And then I wanted to make sure I handled my business in the classroom. Like my mom, and my mom was my partner always. And my mom didn't play about like education. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for her. Like if you don't make the grades, do what you got to do, then you can't play. And because I didn't want to be at home, I wanted to have a sense of belonging. Like I made sure I took care of my business in the classroom. So just a lot of those things like that, man. That just kept me wanting to find myself more and more and keep showing and keep proving and aha, I did. You said I couldn't do this. Now look, you know what I mean? And then and sometimes it turns into other things like, a lot of times when I get a chance to tell my story, one of the things that I don't speak about much, which I probably should more, is like academically, like I was labeled a lazy kid and I finished 26 in my class. I had a 3.7 GPA as a lazy kid. So I was like, okay, well, if I apply myself, what does that look like? And I almost had a 4.0 in college. You know what I mean? Like my first year, like I was the academic All-American. Like nobody would ever think of me as being that person. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something I don't really talk too much about, but that's something that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? Like everybody and all the people that used to talk about me, like the things that I had to overcome, it's like, man, no, like I got a good head on my shoulders. You know what I mean? I got a good work ethic. Like I'm gonna show you.
You know, it's unfortunate. They've always labeled us as lazy. It's a label they've given us for a long time, even when we were, slaves. But I'm not gonna get into that situation right now. I had to throw that out there because it's our truth. They label us as aloof, lazy, or whatever, and regardless of the circumstances that we always have against us, we always rise to the top because we are cream.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you. So you're out of college or whatever, and you go and your first time getting into the NBA. Your experience. What was your experience like being on a team in the NBA? Your first day. How'd you feel? Was there anxiety? What was going on through your mind? Did you felt like you belong? Yada yada yada.
I always felt I belonged. I always knew I belonged. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I don't base my career off of things like that because being a hooper, man, I know a lot of hoopers that didn't make it to the league that was good enough to be in the league. You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying?
It's
And
true.
I just think for me, I always belong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the stresses and the things that I dealt with early on is what helped me in that stage and that part of my life because there's so many uncertainties. You know what I mean? I was able to play 9 years in the league, um, and a lot of those were like non-guaranteed deals or a partial or something like that. Like I really had to make teams.
Right.
So thank God to my agent, man. Salute to him, Jamie. Like
Yeah, I chilled.
he
I chilled
always
out with
kept it.
I chilled out with Jamie at the. I went to the
Yeah,
G League with Jamie. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to
He
Jamie. Yeah.
he he kept it. He
Yeah.
kept it real with me during the whole process, and that's what I appreciate. I feel like a lot of guys, man. Like if your agent ain't keeping it a bean with you, you got to think about a new situation. And he let me know the good and the bad. What teams were always saying. It didn't matter what it was. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay. And then we put a plan together and we followed suit on that plan. So, a lot of things go wrong, just like there are some things that's gonna go right. But if the things go wrong don't happen, then you won't know and truly understand what the success in the journey looks like, you know what I'm saying, or being appreciative of it. So I I say all that to say, man, I remember putting on NBA tights for the first time, putting on the practice jersey for the first time, preparing, for a summer and getting ready for training camp, having no idea what that looks like. Um, Getting into the gym with Dirk and Steve Nash and Josh Howard and all of these people, Marquise Daniels. The list goes on and on, and it's like, bro, I know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just opportunity. So it's just them ups and downs, and then you got to play the game. You got to be a pro. You got to talk to the coaches. You got to watch the extra film. You got to make sure you're doing the extra reps. You got to make sure you asking the questions. You got to do all those things because at this point, what people don't realize, man, it's a job. A lot of times, people want to say, "Bro, what do y'all have to complain about? You making millions of dollars, da 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 da." But it's still a job. We have one of the few jobs, man, where people critique us all day, all night, bro, and we got to sit there and take it. When you go order fast food, you ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? If the employee treated you a certain type of way, you're not gonna talk to the employee. You're gonna go to the boss. Like these people don't have to deal with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Got you.
but every day, um, And real quick, I know this is off subject, but I got to give, I'm big on flowers, but I got to give UD his flowers because I know I've been going back and forth with people on social media because they really in their feelings. And I'm like,
who?
Udonis
Udonis Haslem. Okay.
for retiring his jersey. And I'm like, bro, like that man deserved it. He ain't got to be.
No.
Like, you know what's so dope about it is the fact that it shows that you don't have to be a LeBron, a Kobe, a Mike, or somebody like that in order to receive love.
Right. Absolutely.
To be honest, if we really gonna keep it a bean, as much talent and people that have come through that organization from way back when up until now, including some of the greatest to ever play, from Shaq to D Wade to Chris Bosh to LeBron. The list goes on and on. Exactly. But when people think about Heat culture, they think about Udonis Haslem.
They do. They do.
If you don't like it, and like I was telling them people on Instagram, call Pat Riley and complain. Or do better. Get a jersey, get you a contract, and erase whatever it is that he does. Because, bro, like, I again, when I talk about how much athletes have to get critiqued, and all the time, and especially from a lot of people that haven't been in that position. And that doesn't mean that just because you're in that position that you can just say whatever you want to either. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to everything.
Absolutely. Right.
I don't agree with some of the people that have played the game at a high level and now they're commentating or doing media and all of that. But I get it. Right?
We're going to get into that.
But I get it.
We got some time. We got some time, baby.
But I just think it's unfair that we can't appreciate somebody for what they've done.
Right.
We can't acknowledge that there's different layers to what success looks like. And the success doesn't have to be you had to get 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists. Success looks like a man who's worked his tail off, who's a pillar, and a staple in his city. Like, he's from there. That man went overseas, bro. He came back, lost weight, got it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, blood, sweat, and tears for what he meant to that city, man. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't stand that.
I agree with you on
that, bro.
Absolutely.
I think the worst thing that's happened with our culture right now is like comparing everybody. Like, we're always comparing, the Brons, the Michaels, and everything else, and just sit down and just really realize the greatness of each individual player. Like, there are a lot of, and it's not only just Michael, LeBron, and Kobe. There's like big men that have been in the 80s and 70s, and like, there's different eras of playing, and I just hate. And I think with our culture, the culture right now with human beings is just comparing everybody. And just let the person just be great individually and understand their attributes and what they contributed to whatever they've done, whether it's basketball or it's football, whether it's politics,
like
anything.
That. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Biggie, Tupac. You know what I mean? Who's better, like, this one, that one? It's just crazy.
Hey, low key, I wonder if they still would place Biggie and Tupac where they at if they didn't die. But that's just me. That's just me.
I think they'll be up there. A lot of. I believe some other people wouldn't be where they were at if they were still if they stayed on course.
Well, you know what too? When I feel like with our era, we were more in tune with like different artists or different whatever. We didn't have a short attention span. Now it's on to the next thing. This generation's on to the next thing. You have to have a real strong attention span because tomorrow everything is changing. Like, we grew up with news. News lasted a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. Now you got CNN is on a 24-hour cycle. Everything is sports, 24-hour cycle. So everything just changes. So it's just a different. You got Instagram, you got social media. It's just everything is different from what we grew up in. From my era. Like, I was talking to my man yesterday talking to Ant, and he we talked about. We were going back and forth about Nintendo and Sega, and he was like, I said ColecoVision. He was like, I don't even know what ColecoVision is.
ColecoVision's right there. They had Mario Brothers.
You know what I'm saying?
They had Mario Brothers. No, not Mario. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yes.
We showing our age right now. We ain't trying to do that. I'm still fly. I die my joint. But anyway, we all
Yeah, that's our thing here. We ain't lying. I die mine too.
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
you came out though, brother.
But yours don't look as good as mine. So anyway,
All right, here we go. See? Stupid.
so all right. So what's it like to put on that? What was it like to first put on that Lakers jersey? 'Cause that's a historic franchise.
So I wish that everybody could experience being at a historical franchise to really like get the full experience of a professional, like what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? And it could be the Celtics, it could be the Knicks. You know what I
Say
mean?
them
It could
Celtics again.
be,
There we go. I like to hear that.
hey man, gotta put respect on. You know, there's
Absolutely.
organizations. You know what I'm saying? That's been doing it, man, and that purple and gold is different, man. Like I'll never forget, like when we won the championship and we're doing a parade and we riding through the city, man, and you seeing Bloods and Crips together. You know what I'm saying? You seeing GDs and Vice Lords together. You seeing the Mexicans with like you just seeing all these different people, different backgrounds. You know, it didn't matter what they was on, what the beef was, because the purple and gold won. It brought the city together.
Yeah.
People were like standing on gas stations, like, man, it was crazy, bro.
Well, I believe it.
That was sick, bro.
Oh,
Like
which
it was
one you talking
really
about? Which
crazy.
you won two? You won 2 times. Which one?
I mean, both parades were. It's just a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, because
Like,
one hurt my soul. You already know which one
but
that
that
was.
yeah, I already know. But that first one, it was like they just came off of losing, right, to the Celtics, and then we won it, and it's like the whole city was out. It was crazy,
Right.
man. It was crazy. So I just think like the love, the history, the expectations, like playing in that arena, bro. They dim the lights. It's all focused on the court. All the biggest star. Look who done escaped again. Look at
But
him. He undefeated. He going crazy tonight. but that's the thing. And to be honest, there is a pressure to play for that organization. Just having a successful regular season doesn't cut it. Going to the playoffs doesn't cut it. These people want championships.
chips.
Right. Absolutely.
And a lot of these other organizations don't have to play with that type of
They
pressure.
ain't built like that.
So the other thing that I always mention too is like LA is not for everybody. A lot of people can't go and play in LA. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yeah, they say that.
Let alone like you in the league, right? You in the league, that's one thing. There's pressure in that because every night you're gonna have to see somebody. But now you playing for a team or organization that has an expectation. I've heard the stories and seen things myself. Not saying what team or what organization, but I'm just speaking in general on this. But you know, when the city wants to and they can get involved, it could be problematic. Y'all know that too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like them folks, bro, if you're not playing the right way, folks be like,
They want
brother,
you out. Trade them.
don't come outside.
Don't come outside. They gonna deal with you. No, the street, the
You
streets. It's
talking
talking about the
about
streets.
trade you.
Talking about the streets.
Man, the trading is the light part of it.
The
Those
streets.
folks is like, bro, we better not catch you outside.
The streets. It's real.
That's crazy.
Them folks,
That's
it's
crazy.
real.
That's crazy. Wow.
Because you got to think too, bro. People betting on game. Like it's a lot that's going on.
That's
And these
crazy.
folks feeling like you ain't holding up your end of the bargain, man. They gonna be like, hey, bro, I'll let you.
Yeah, I noticed because I watch like the Lakers games. I have to. I watch multiple games and see who's doing what. You know, LBJ's over there. He's doing this thing right. We're trying to. He's trying to get that second chip for them. But how come when a lot of these players they shooting 40% for three, they go to the Lakers, now they shooting 33%. What is that? Is that them lights are just too big for them? You believe that?
I do. There is truth to that. I can't say everything because it might be a player going through something. It might be a player could have some personal issues. It might be, you know, the team. You know what I'm saying? Like guys on the team may not mesh well. It could be different things. You know what I mean? But I'm not by no means trying to make excuses for anybody, but these are facts. Because people view players as just players and not viewing them as people. And now when you hear like a lot of people, they're being more vocal about their struggles or more vocal about other things that they could be going through.
Gotcha.
Again, I'm not trying to make an excuse or none of that.
No, no.
But it is factual. Like when you got to play, think about being LeBron's teammate. You know what I'm saying? Like respectfully. And think about like even when I first got to LA, like you hear the whispers of what 24 is like. And then actually experiencing 24. You know what I'm saying? Like now we on the court, and now how do you respond to when he gets on you, or how do you respond to when he challenges you or tries to, check you on something just to see how you gonna respond back? Like what you on? He want to know who he riding with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. Like I said, man, it's a lot that goes into it. Then the pressures of people don't understand too. Like if guys are going out and you might be fighting for a deal, that's pressure in itself. So now it's like you ain't really going out because you're trying to get your rest. You don't know what you want to do. Like there's a lot of things that guys deal with that, I know it will never happen, but they deserve grace. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not easy. And again, respectfully, I don't care if you're a basketball player or a teacher. You just never know what people are going through.
That's
You
real.
know what I'm saying? And what that looks like. So I try to focus on the human aspect of everything. And I know that's not a favorable thing for a lot of people because it's like, oh, well, you're getting paid all this money. What you complaining for? This is the expectation, blah, blah, blah. But we can't just act like they're not human beings, though.
Right. That's you right. And so I got to get to it. I got to get to this one thing. I believe, this is what I believe. I believe if Kendrick Perkins did not get hurt, we would have beat y'all in 2010. Come on. What you think? What you got on that?
Bro, we was going to see y'all. Hey, man. And you know what's crazy? That was such a great series.
Oh,
but
yes.
it was
beautiful. Iconic.
We were fighting ourselves because, for example, with Kobe, like understanding all that he's carrying on his shoulders because he wants to beat that team so bad. Like,
Absolutely.
when I tell you he's one of those people that has a real hatred for the Celtics.
As he should.
For many reasons, right? That was also the team that was supposed to, with the draft situation. There's a lot that goes into, like, before games. The Celtics song that comes on before the game starts, the like that. Bro, he used to play that in his headphones, blasting over and over and over and over. Like, it was sick, bro.
Right.
But he was so locked in.
Right.
You didn't talk to him. It was nothing. He was so locked in, So it was just one of those things, man. We just had to keep our composure and get through it because I also think too, the Celtics from a mind game standpoint, they were really banking on the fact that they whooped up on that team 2 years prior.
Correct.
So once you see them again, it's like, oh, we got this. So for us, it was just staying the course and making sure that we overcome all of those little mental hurdles and battles and all of those things, because especially in championship time. Once you get to that point in the game, it's mental. It ain't got nothing to do with X's and O's or anything else. It's who wants it more. You remember when Ron slammed Paul Pierce out the gate? Game one.
Yeah, I remember all that.
You know what I'm saying?
I was locked in. I was hurt. I'm still hurt over that. We needed that one. We needed that one.
We used to call
Come on
Paul
now.
Pierce the sloth. So my thing is that listen, I want to ask you a question. So, what's it like? What is it like to play with Kobe Bryant? And then, can you give me an example of when you felt like he was pushing you, or like what's it like to feel that energy just to play with him?
For one, I feel that the reason why we were so close is because of the way that I approached the game. Like we were similar in that manner. I didn't. I don't have to have somebody tell me like, yo, you got to play hard. You got to bring energy or effort to do this or do like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was not something that I had to have somebody like, hey, bro, what you on? For one, for two, my room for error was so small that my attention to detail, making sure that I'm somebody you could trust in any game situation, like all of those things, I had to be all the way up here at all times. So it wasn't like I had to cut some switch on or I had to be a certain type of way because it's him.
You had to follow your assignment.
I didn't care none of that. I
Yeah.
stayed the course because I'm like, bro, I'm wearing this jersey just like you. Like the first time he really tried me was the first practice we had, literally. And he was guarding. I want to say he was guarding Sasha. Had to been guarding Sasha because we didn't make no trade yet until halfway through the season. So with the guys we had, I just remember he was guarding Sasha. I'm on the second team. Sasha came off my way. So I stood to go head hunt and popped him on the screen. He didn't like that. And he got the cursing at me. All right, like I don't use language, fellas. So y'all bear
Right.
with me.
It's okay.
But
It's okay.
he got the saying all that, and he was just like, man, don't do that ish no more.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I'm from the South Side. What are you talking about? And I told Sides like, hey man, bring it back, run him back off.
Right.
And he respected that because I popped him again. But it ain't like we finna scrap, bro. Like
Yeah. Ball.
I ain't never like I'm with the smoke, but I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't on that type of time. Like I'm trying to make a team, and I'm just locked in.
Yeah.
And he does things like that, but he saw I was on the same type of time he was on. Obviously his skill set, and I'm skilled, but I get a bucket. Like a lot of people only think of me from the standpoint of like, yeah, I was athletic as hell, but they always think of me as a jump shooter. Like, nah, it's a lot in the package. It's a lot in the package. So they got to see that day in and day out. And he appreciated, I feel like he appreciated that. That was one of the reasons why we were so close. So I didn't get caught up, into all of that, man. I got a job, I got a family, I got things that I'm trying to do and accomplish, and I want to be a part of this special thing that we have with this team. So
Yeah,
I just mashed the gas.
they said you was the dancer on the team. You was the one that was dancing the most.
Turned up, Hey, we got it.
What was your favorite songs, man? What we dancing to, John? What we doing?
I'm trying to think of what was out back then.
Yeah, that's
Because,
a long time.
back then, all the songs were like dances. You know what I'm saying?
Was Swagger was the Swagger shit out? Was the joint
Swag Surf was.
Swag
I don't
Surf.
think that was out there. Yeah, I don't think that was out
that
there.
wasn't out there?
Yeah, the 50 Cent era was coming to
50 Cent was coming. 50 Cent was 2000. That was 2010,
50 Cent was like
2009.
2003, but it was coming to an end to hold that thing. And
Lean
it
with it,
was,
drop with it.
It might have been.
You dancing that? You dancing that?
bro, stop. Come on now, that's what you think. I don't know the rapper who sings that song. Do you? Who is it?
With it.
So here we go. Let it come on out, brother. That's right.
So but I think that's the part that a lot of people didn't do around him. Not saying that they weren't being themselves, but like for me, I was just a kid too because I was just in the moment. Like, this is a blessing. Like, I'm enjoying this environment. If a song come on, I'm a judge to it. Like that was just me. You know what I mean? And just things that made that team so special
That's
for
awesome.
sure.